Hi, I want to show you how you can use Model Builder module in ArcGIS to build a simple model and validate and execute that model, and then export it in a couple of different ways. So if you look here, I have a Landsat scene. This is from January 2nd, 2011. You can see I have 3 channels open. There's 2 very turbid lake, 4 and 7. Okay, so I have 2, 4, and 7 open, and so I'm going to open Model Builder, the Model Builder module, which is found in the geoprocessing menu, and it's a really simple way to build models that can be executed within ArcGIS, and then you can also use it to export and edit Python scripts. So here's how we start. I'm just going to drag over the 3 channels that we have here into the model, and you can see I can resize these to get their full name out there so we can see what they are and which channels we're talking about. And I'm going to drag in a tool from the toolbox. Let's see, resize this a little bit so I can see it. And you can see I have raster processing, and then I'm going to drag in the composite bands tool. Relatively simple model here, and so you get the composite bands and then the resulting output raster. And so I'm going to build some connections, and so normally these 3 bands would go into the composite bands tool and they would produce an output raster. So here we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to validate the model, validate this entire model. Let me move it out here in the middle where you can see it. It's relatively simple. I don't think you have to really think much about what's happening here. I'm going to validate this, and then I'm going to execute it. And if you look at these, you can see when you open this, you can see where that's going to go. It's going to go into the default geodatabase. Okay, and this you can get other information on different parts of the model as you're working on it and before you execute it. So let me go ahead and run the model. You can see it's running. Relatively simple composite, so it shouldn't take too long to execute, although I am working on a notebook computer that's possibly a little slower than the ones that you guys work with, although it is an i5. Okay, it's completed. You can see there's a log here, there's some text. It took about 38 seconds. So I'm going to close this. We'll go back to the model. If you look at it, it looks a little different now. And in fact, you can see that the composite band that we created hasn't been put into the image. So I'm going to add that to the display, and I think you can see it back there as it appears in the image and over here in the table of contents. And then there's a number of things you can do with this. You can save the model. You can name it. You can export the model as a Python script. This is quite interesting, and so I'm going to send the script out to the desktop, and I'll call this one just comp, so you can see what it looks like. So we've saved that script, and I'm not going to save it any other way. And so that's how the model ran. And then when you go out and look at the model, here's the model as a Python script on the desktop. I'm going to open that to edit it with a Python editing application that I think is part of ArcGIS. And there's the Python script, and so you can work on it here. You can edit it, if you choose to, if you're a code monkey or if you do that kind of thing. So, model builder, pretty cool.